And when I do the session, so if you have any questions, you have feel free to raise your hand and ask. You can chat and ask. Okay, also. So I'll keep both open. Okay. Okay. All right. So welcome everyone to today's session. And so I did a small session last week, and today is a continuation of that. And I was very encouraged by my own presentation. Is that the reason being that I've been doing this a bit slow. I'm not pushing in a big way. The reason was I was successfully able to reverse my type 2 diabetes, and it took a while. But to erase something or to reverse something completely, so you can reverse any chronic condition if you apply the right means, if you follow Ayurveda in the right way, or if you understand the principles of Ayurveda in the right way. So if we understand how the body and mind work together, so we are a body mind synergy, and we are in a state of balance. Okay, so we are meant to be in a state of balance. Okay, so when this balance is off, so your mind should be in balance, your body should be in balance. So Ayurveda states that everything should be in balance. So we will discuss in detail what this balance is. So I have a presentation here, and we will discuss the aspect of how do you get this balance. Okay. So Ayurveda in itself means the science of long life. So Ayuhu means life, also lifespan. So Ayurveda not only deals with that we have to live. So that's the difference between modern science. So for example, if you look at the modern wording where it says, oh, we need to put food on the table, that's like a desperation. You are just trying to survive. But in spiritual culture, Ayurveda means not just living, but making your life very energized, achieving higher goals, higher principles. So overcoming disease is one of the aspects which is automatically achieved. And the way you treat a disease. So Ayurveda. So Veda means to know, Ayurveda means to understand that science. Long, healthy, happy life. It's not just I'm living. Like we are given medications, this, that. So we are just trying to live. But in Ayurveda, you're not just living, you're living your full life. So that is the difference between Ayurveda and like a modern science where we are just trying to get by a disease or control the symptoms of a disease, but to reverse. And in Ayurveda, basically we are all born. See, there is something called Ayurgenomics. So Ayurgenomics means you are born with a particular inhibition. You are born with a certain set of DNA. Okay, you're born with a certain set of DNA. So you're born, your parents have given you a certain set of and your environment, your karma has given you a certain set of body. Now, will that fructify into a disease, physical, mental, or intellectual? That depends on you. So you may have a condition. So we are born with a lean body, fat body, medium body, weak mind, strong mind, whatever. So that is why there is science of astrology, there is science of yoga, there is science of Ayurveda to identify your condition and to make a solution. So Ayurveda means you also use the connection with astrology, you use the connection with yoga, you use the connection with life, you put all this together and you try to make a solution out of it. So we see that health means balance at 5 levels. Okay. So this is where the most important things I'm going to explain. So, for example, now this is the 5 layers. Okay. So your body is actually the smallest layer according to Ayurveda. Is the smallest. Now the next layer, so right within your body is the prana layer. So this is 10 fingers away or around you. So your prana extends. So that is why when somebody comes very close, you can feel their energy. Even from far, you can feel. So prana. So when you want to heal, you have to understand the connection between these layers. So that is why understanding this is very important. I was just telling Mia that before we started that I was in this Ayurvedic hospital for research, and they found one patient who couldn't talk. He had lost his voice like for about a year now. Like you lose your voice for a week, for a month. Okay. But this guy had lost his voice for a month and they were trying to figure out what is the problem. And all medical tests are normal. So then his brother is having colon cancer for the last 3 years. So the stress, you can imagine what stress can do to you negatively. Okay. So what stress can do is very, very, interesting to know. Okay. So if you understand the stress part, so that's where the mind comes in. Okay. So the body is immediately supported from inside and outside by prana. So basically within you, like right when you breathe in, so there is a pranic layer inside, there is also a pranic covering outside. So it's like a double layer which is holding you together. Okay. And what you eat, what you think is converted into this subtle energy. So that is why to understand this, this physical body, all these layers are inside, but their influence is bigger. So prana is 10 fingers around you. So that is what they call aura. Now your mind, it is in the region of the heart. Okay. The mind is in the region of the heart. So what are the functions of the mind? Can anybody tell me? Guesses. I don't want it to be a monologue. Anybody knows functions of the mind?
The ego.
Functions of the mind. Okay. It works with the ego and kind of generates your reaction, right?
The
But what
senses.
are the principal functions of the mind?
To register what you see.
What is it?
To register what you see, like whatever you see.
Register what you see.
It's like a
Yeah.
process.
Process. Yeah. So the mind aggregates all the pulsations, all the work of your senses. So whatever your senses gather, so mind aggregates it. So to reflect and desire. So your mind's primary function is to reflect and desire. It is mimicking the function of the soul, because soul is doing spiritual desires. The mind is mimicking as the soul, creating desires. Right? For example, I'm in my room. Okay. Now I'm thinking I need to go out because I have a fruit basket outside. and I have to walk out of this room, then go to that room and pick up a fruit. That's what I'm mentally picturizing, that I'll eat an apple. Now, suddenly along the way, I see some cloth is, there. And so what do? I feel, I think it's dirty. So let me just attend to it first. Right? So immediately as you see, you have a new plan of action. So let me clean this first, and then I will go get the apple. Now, something may happen along the way. So as you go, your senses are aggregating and you are making decisions. So you are making desires and decisions. Now, decision is intelligence. Okay. So your mind is doing those functions. Now, interestingly, the mind has three functions. Okay, let me get back to the presentation. Okay, so the mind yeah. So thinking, willing, feeling. Okay, these are the primary functions of the mind: thinking, willing, feeling. And at every step of thinking, willing, feeling, the mind accepts and rejects. So the mind accepts and rejects. So, for example, the children, okay? Now, children, you need to give them some injection, okay? So children are scared of injection. So what do? They give a chocolate. So because of the chocolate, the kid kind of loses his grip on the fear. He takes the chocolate and immediately he's okay with the injection, although it may be painful. So he immediately accepts what he was rejecting. Right? So at every stage of thinking, willing, feeling, you accept and reject. So similarly, when you are sick, your mind accepts some kind of food. When you're mentally sick, like for example, I was in India recently and I was in a rickshaw, and this rickshaw guy was taking me, and I was telling him, oh, what are the kind of foods that you can order on this app that will deliver to you? Oh, sir, nowadays there is a craze of eating at midnight, binge biryani. So you order like 3-4 plates of biryani, and people just to burst out their stress after late evening work, they eat so much biryani. And see, the point is that at some point your mind blanks out. You don't know what to do. And you have no relaxation there, and you take extreme action, which is a mind, it's a mental stress, but it is leading to overeating, which eventually leads to weight gain, eating the wrong food. And so therefore the mind is the center. The intelligence and the mind are the central aspects of healing, because you have to accept. For example, I tell you, for diabetes, oh, for 6 months, or for gluten allergy, you avoid these things. Or for thyroid, you avoid this thing for next 6 months to 1 year. You avoid this one for 45 days, blah blah blah. So then your mind has to come to a point of, I have to do this, I have to take up this difficulty. Right? So where is it? It is the resolve of the mind. Okay. So the healing aspect begins with the proper resolve. That's why the mind is very important. And the mind is in the mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. Disease comes when you are in the mode of passion and ignorance in Ayurveda. So, for example, if I eat extremely spicy food every day, day in and day out, I'm eating extremely spicy food, then definitely my liver will malfunction, my intestines will malfunction, because there is extreme heat all the time. Right? So just like your city, your body, in the city, if it's hot all the time, then everything becomes dry. right? Or too like humid, too much moisture, things like that. So if one kind of eating habit, if you continue for a long time, it develops into a imbalance. Okay. So I had a cousin, she liked boiled potatoes. And somehow she just liked eating, like children or teenagers sometimes go into this, they like one kind of food and they go crazy over it. So she liked boiled potatoes with salt. So she ate that, and after 6 months, she looked like one. Hmm? So it's very important that in Ayurveda, for example, that you don't binge on one food. You have to balance out. So these are some things which I have made videos, and which is in the uh, app. So which we will download at the end of the session for those who haven't downloaded yet. So the mind also has three functions, three aspects of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So goodness, passion, and ignorance. So so the goodness, passion, and ignorance, diseases come only in mode of passion and ignorance. Okay, according to Ayurveda. So if you want to reverse any disease, you have to come to a mode of goodness eating. Okay, so that's how it will work. Now let me share. Okay, and mind the presentation. Yeah. Okay, so now let's look at the overall structure. So your body is made up of the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. So you have to, your food that you eat, so if you want to reverse any disease, the first thing you have to understand is that your body needs to be strong enough to fight. So what is a strong body? So strong body means your structure is good, and the 7 dhatus, these 7 elements are well nourished. So your food should be, so the 7 aspects. So once you eat something, it becomes glucose. It takes 5 days for glucose to be converted into blood. It takes 5 days from blood to be converted to muscle. It takes 5 days for the muscle to be converted to fat. It takes 5 days from the fat to be converted to bone, 5 days from the bone to be converted to bone marrow, 5 days from the bone marrow to be converted to semen. So you can imagine your digestion cycle is 35 days. So that is why Ayurveda says if you want to eliminate any disease, so imagine in those 35 days, if I mess up 3 or 4 days, my digestive cycle is broken. What happens is, at the 7th stage of your digestion from bone marrow, if you control, if you are having a good routine, good diet, you follow non-alcoholism, for example, you follow like regulated living, that next stage, instead of wasting as semen or ovum or something like that, it converts into what is called as ojas. Okay, so that ojas is your immunity. So that's 7 stages. So first of all, if you want to reverse any disease, the first thing that comes is improve your digestion. In Ayurveda, it says. So what do you start with? You start with detox, and you have so detox the mind also. So detoxing begins with the mind. So when you want to heal, you should not disturb your mind too much. You will not heal. A disturbed mind is the worst thing that can. That's why I showed the mind slide exclusively. Okay. So you have to keep your mind very, very calm if you want to if you reverse any disease, because your mind has gone to a certain degree of imbalance, and so has your prana and your body. So it is not just that the body has a disease, your prana is imbalanced, your mind is imbalanced, so is intelligence. So all these aspects need to be turned. You have to work on each aspect. So for the body, you need to have cleanliness, mode of goodness. You should be fresh. You should have the diet which suits you. And you should detox. Suppose you have some allergy. Suppose you have some, like I had type 2 diabetes. And the way you do it is you detox first. So until you clear your body and mind, until you detox, okay, no medicine, no food is going to benefit you. So that is why you have to get into a healing mindset. You have to get into a healing routine. Suppose you do a detox, a cleanse, and the next thing you eat is like something very hot and chilly, it'll burn your intestine. So you have to be very, very disciplined. Like when I went to India, I did the ghee detox. And after doing the ghee detox, it took about a week of just eating khichdi, just boiled, or just, juices, things like that, to rejuvenate the body. I could not eat anything spicy. If I would have burnt up my body. Because once you clean, you have to be very focused with the diet. Second is prana. Prana is influenced by the mind also. You need to engage your body in active activities. So in my app, I have stretches, yoga, meditation, so many things. And very important to have a daily routine of meditation, physical activity, physical exercise, and breathing. So diet, breathing, physical activity, meditation. So these are the 4 things that you actually need to balance everything. Okay. So your meditation should be so good that rest of the day that meditation carries you, because life is all about difficulties. So every aspect, the moment I cleaned today, okay. So tomorrow, you have to clean again. You have to do the same thing again. You have to maintain. So it's about discipline, and it's about maintaining that enthusiasm, that focus. And every day you should see yourself improving. So that is why I have in the app breathing, stretching. So you need some basics over there. Now for the mind, where is the mind? The mind is in the region of the heart. Okay. The mind is in the region of the heart. Now the mind, you need to keep in the mode of goodness. You need to keep your mind clear. You need to heal the mind. To heal the mind, you need to first stop. You need to identify and stop those traumatic recurrences or those mental stresses that are affecting you. You need to avoid that. You need to get into a good routine. So the thing is, you cannot fight your old fears. You need to build up strength so that you can fight. So just like in the army, you don't go and attack the enemy when you are unprepared or you are preparing. You fully prepare, you surround, you plan, and then when you know everything is right, then you attack. So you have to build yourself up. So you have to keep everything aside. You have to build up a good routine. The cure for the mind is a disciplined routine. Okay, like clockwork. And you have to get it into such a way. Now, if you want to get out of any disease, physical or mental, discipline is very, very important, because discipline is what carries the momentum of discipline. So we call muscle memory. So when you practice something in a certain way, your muscle remembers. So every time you do the action next time, your muscle kind of easily stretches in that direction. So there is a muscle memory, there is a mind memory also. So if you cultivate a good habit, it will maintain that. So that's the main thing. And then there is intelligence. So mind we already spoke about. So I want to talk about the 5 aspects of intelligence. Okay. And then I will, if you have any questions, and then we'll do the next part about the body. So intelligence is very important. Why? There are 5 aspects of intelligence. So when we want to make a decision, so in Ayurveda, it is not just I give you some powder. There is also knowledge. So when you make a decision, whether I should eat this or not, why should I eat this? Why should I not eat this? There should be proof. There is scriptural evidence, or there is research. Now, proper research. So if you understand Ayurveda, so then anything I speak about, I want to overcome this health issue, this problem. So everything should be based on evidence. Now, second is illusion. So this is from the Bhagavatam and Yoga Sutras, even in Ayurveda. So all this work. So sometimes you may take a decision in illusion. Just like yesterday, I went to Costco. And when I went to Costco, so there were people standing over there. Would you like to taste this? Right? So I said, what sugar is in there? She said, oh, we just have agave nectar, some energy drink. And I saw the ingredients, this and that, so many chemicals, and there are so many chemicals, and they don't tell you the proportion, what it is. Moment I drank it, I could really understand how it is heavy, right? How it actually disturbs your energy. So, but as long as your body can take it, people just take it, right? And moment you get a disease, so people think, oh, once I get a disease, then I'll stop. But then it becomes very difficult to reverse it. There is also decision making based on imagination. So what should I eat today? Oh, I always wanted an exotic food and this and that. And then people go, for example, most of these vegan places, they are the most unhealthiest foods. All they eat is this soy, this made up thing, this made up, that made up. And they eat these made up things. And what is happening with these made up things is that because even soy and tofu, they cook it so many times, you can only cook once. You cannot cook it so many times. You can only cook something once. Okay. Now, when you so once you cook something more than twice, then its energy goes away. So that is why processed food, for example, the picture is very beautiful, right? They show a beautiful picture outside that this food is amazing. But once you cook something more than twice, once you heat something more than twice, that's it. That energy in that food is gone. So you're literally eating some kind of imagination or illusion. So to think that that is a good food, whereas in Ayurveda it says eat fresh. Now, deep sleep. Sleep is one of the most important aspects of recovery. So if you don't sleep well, no matter what diet you have, what exercise you have, everything goes down the drain. So if you want to recover from something, deep sleep is very important. You have circadian rhythm. So we will discuss this later on in the course. So circadian rhythm. So in this circadian rhythm, there are 4 levels. So if you wake up in between your sleep, then your rhythm breaks to again go back to the deeper sleep. So you need to arrange things in such a way that you're able to sleep well. So these things are tied around. So in Ayurveda, if you want to reverse any disease, so you keep your trauma aside, you make a proper vow, then you get into a good routine, good sleep, right? So these don't require many things. But if your problem is with sleep itself, yeah, you need to work. But you have to get these right. You cannot compromise on sleep. Then the last aspect is memory. So memory is very critical, because the thing is, once you make a mistake of eating the wrong food or doing the wrong things, sometimes it's our behavior. We do it again and again. We go stressed out, and then we do the same mistake again and again. So you need to have a good, clear memory of where you went wrong, what you need to do, and what you study, you need to apply it, implement it. Okay, so that's how it works. All right, so any questions so far?
So, Hare Krishna, this is Raj here. So, one thing is when we are talking about exercise meditation, can we do like physical strength building exercise along with yogic practice?
So strengthening exercise. So see, again, exercise depends on the body type. Okay. So for me, yoga works very well because I am not looking to build a wrestler body. Your body type, you are a little bigger, so you can work on your muscles, right? But then heavy exercise, see, eventually, if you look at the scientific aspect, you need to reach a certain heartbeat speed. Okay, you need to reach a certain heart rate. You shouldn't go higher than that. Second is, in yoga, why I was able to reverse the diabetes, especially after I did, let me show you the pose. So that completely reversed it. Let me just show you here.
Yeah, but I'm also pre-diabetic. So I want to know how
Yeah.
I can avoid.
Yeah, I want to show you that pose. This one. So for example, once I did this, so all your endocrine glands, so lower abdomen, they became, the pancreas, which was a little bit weak because of wheat, gluten, all these things, they became very active. Okay. So the thing is, when you exercise, what Ayurveda does, so what yoga does, is it pushes the prana into the right place. Okay. So sometimes, see, there was one video that I watched and I was amazed, where one MD doctor, big guy, and he is giving a proof, and he cited many papers and his own patients. Most people who do heavy weights, they don't live very long. And in Ayurveda also it states the same, because you have to let the prana flow. So when you over exercise, you drain your body. Your prana goes down. Your body looks good, but your prana is gone. Show me one, or in India, it's a little more balanced because they do exercise and this, but here sometimes it can be a fad to just work out for 7-8 hours. How many of them live beyond 60, 65? Very few. Most of them cannot, because that kind of pressured body and muscles that you develop cannot go beyond. You cannot maintain that same level of exercise beyond a certain age. Whereas yoga, you can even practice at the age of 99 or even 100. So that is why for the long term, in terms of health, so because earlier I used to, even yoga exercise, I used to do so much comparison. But now after I was able to reverse the diabetes completely with this yoga, I can say with confidence that, for example, if you read if you Google Krishnamacharya asanas for diabetes, okay, if you Google it, you will see that he writes there that yoga is a apana vayu imbalance. Lower abdomen your air. So at the belly area, your air separates. So one goes up for breathing, it is called pranavayu, and from there it goes down, it is called apanavayu. So if you have constipation, so when you have stress, when you have too much stress over a period of time, you get constipated. Why? Because the air which is meant to go down from the abdomen, that is called apanavayu. So when you pass gas, stool, urine, so that is all apana, downward. That air becomes imbalanced because your belly is weak. So those who eat too much at night, the belly comes out, and this apanavayu, instead of being down, it floats up. So instead of pushing down, your stool is blocked. So that's when it causes constipation. Now, when you do yoga, it slowly pushes the prana back to its place. Your belly is pushed in, like when I do those poses. Next is all the endocrine glands. So there is the flow of cholesterol, because you need good cholesterol. All your endocrine glands work on cholesterol. So they are all improved, balanced. So they work properly, because all your body working is based on signals. So when you are stressed, you activate the cortisol, they go too high. So when you exercise, for example, if I'm doing heavy weights, too tired, my cortisol goes so high, my sugar will also go high. And instead of getting a healthy effect, I am over exercising and killing my body. So that is why we need to understand our need. We need to understand the body type, and we need to exercise accordingly. Lighter is better.
Yeah, bro.
One should
When I
not
said
do.
strength building, what I meant was not doing 2-3 hours of exercise, but maybe half an hour of light weights that keep your body strength strong enough.
That is,
That's all.
yeah. So anything light
Half an hour,
which
45.
doesn't stress you out too much, yeah, that is fine.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, bro.
Okay.
But
All
yoga,
right.
let's say yoga can be combined with weights and body, using calisthenics, like using body weights
You should
to
not do
build
it
strength.
together. You should
Yeah.
not practice those together, because when you do
Okay.
yoga, you are stretching your body and prana in a certain way, and you should keep a separate time for it. You cannot combine exercise, then your muscles are crunching in a different way.
Got
Okay.
it. Got it. Okay.
So if
Thank
you
you, bro.
combine the both, the body will be confused. What is he trying to do?
So alternate days or different days or different times of the day?
Yeah. Different times, alternate days, both are fine.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So now going back to, so we got the connection that we needed, right? So everybody is what I'm explaining, everybody is able to understand? Is it good? How many of you? It's good. Okay. Can I hear thumbs up? Okay. All right. I just want to make sure everybody, after the whole class is over, oh, we got okay. I couldn't get it. Something like that. All right. So now let's get down to the body type. Okay. I'll quickly do the body type, and then we'll do the body type, and then we'll get down to chronic disease. All right. So we have a quick question here. Getting prabha. Prana, I guess you meant prana, correct? So getting prana back in place. So getting prana back in place means what happens is, so in your body, let me show you the picture, then you can understand. Okay. So 5 chronic hairs in the body. Okay. I should have kept this picture, but anyway, so here. Okay. So let me share this picture. Okay, here you go. Okay, here some paywall came up. Okay, here you see this body. Okay, so in the upper half of your chest, is the pranic vayu. Okay, around the neck area and kind of mixing with. So your chest is pranavayu, your neck is udanavayu. So that balances the pressure between the head and the chest. Then your digestive fire. So there is an air which goes circular this way. So that is called samanavayu. So your fire of digestion is samanavayu. And the air which evacuates, which throws the waste out of the body is called apanavayu. So prana, udana, vyana, samana, apana. So these are the 5 airs. Okay. So these are the 5 airs. Now what happens is when you eat too much, for example, your belly comes out. So this air, this apanavayu, this should be under a certain pressure, just like you have a balloon. Just like when you have people whose body is old, their organs kind of become weaker. They go out of place. So similarly, this air pressure becomes imbalanced. So those who have big belly, so their lower organs are weak. The pressure is low. And this air, which is meant to be lower to suck your food out, instead of being there, it comes up and pushes your belly in the reverse direction. So that's when you get constipated, because the air which is meant to suck out the food is actually pushing reverse. So then you feel headaches. Those who have constant constipation also have headaches. So what you do is, Ayurveda, what it does, it gives you the diet and the churna or powders, everything that you can use, which you can make this loose and try to push the air out. At the same time, when you do yoga, so what it does is it pushes it, when the belly goes in, it pushes it downward. So then your constipation goes away, because now the air pressure is back in the right place. So this is very, very important to understand. Okay. So the air pressure goes down. So similarly, your body circulation, there is a certain pressure that needs to be in its place. So your body needs to be in a certain pressure. So when your body becomes weak, your pressure goes high, because as you age, it is natural for blood pressure to rise. Why? Because your pressure is the same, but your body is weaker. So if you keep your body stronger, your pressure will be 120/80. If you are too much stressed, if you think too much, your pressure goes high. Okay, because your air, so when you think something very depressed or something like that, your air can expand, can push more. So the pranic air. So all this air gets disturbed, the pressure in the different places. Okay, so it's like when you try to suck something, it clicks. So if I put that, our floor vacuum cleaner, if you keep it here, it kind of sucks, right? It sits here. All these airs are like that. They are fitted. All your organs inside, they are like that suction pressure. So when your body becomes weak, this suction is low, you are weak. So the prana is weak. So that is why your food should have prana, coming to the very important point. If your food is not much prana, or it is just something heavy, then you also become very weak. So exercise, so you need a balance. All right. So if we take steam or sauna at the gym, is it okay? Yeah, it is good, because 70% of your 70% of your detox, okay, is by sweating and breathing. So if you don't sweat, after coming to America, I stopped sweating. I thought that was a good thing. No tension. But then I realized that was the diseased condition. Because stool and urine is just 35% of your waste. Most of your waste is by breathing. For example, if you drink 1 cup of coffee, it takes about 5-6 hours for all the carbon to come out. So when I breathe in, I am breathing in oxygen. O2, 2 O are required to clip 1 carbon and throw it out. So similarly, when you take too much carbohydrates, so either you exercise, you breathe deep, you are doing some physical exercise, the carbs are digested. Or if you eat too much carbohydrates and you don't exercise, the carbon remains, then you have to breathe it out. So those who eat too much carbohydrates after some time, especially those who have diabetes, sugar problems, thyroid, their breathing becomes heavy because your carbon content is very high. Your oxygen level becomes low. Okay. So that is why you have to eat more vegetables for the kind of lifestyle we are living. We are living a very sedentary lifestyle. If we are living an active lifestyle, then it's fine. Okay. All right. So this was that aspect. Now we will quickly go to the earth, water, fire, air, ether. So we'll download the app. We'll end the session. So our body is earth, water, fire, air, ether. Now, in your body, there is kapha, pitta, vata. Okay. Now, kapha, pitta, vata means, so kapha, pitta, vata means it is, kapha means physical structure. Okay, put it that way. So your structure, earth, like Mother Earth, imagine the globe. So this body is a subset of the globe. So the earth itself, earth, mud, it already has earth, water, fire, air, ether, all the previous elements. So earth and water form your physical structure. So this is kapha. All the chemicals in your body, blood, hydrochloric acid, bile juice, all the other chemicals, cholesterol. So this is all pitta. And the air in your body, air and ether, that is vata, air and ether, air pressure, body pressure. So this is all ether, vata, pressure. Okay. So coming back to the slide. So earth plus water is kapha, structure, physique, cohesion, lubrication. Pitta is fire plus water, digestion, transformation. Vata is air and ether, movement, pressure. So if you have any aches or pain, so then that is vata, for example, because it is movement, pressure. You became fat. So what is the problem? Your kapha is too much. So your structure increased. You have, what do you call it? If you develop acidity, so what is the problem? Digestion, transformation, your heat, your chemicals, too high heat. So that is pitta. So that's how you identify in Ayurveda. What is the problem here? Now, diabetes is a kapha vata. Because you become weak, your structure goes imbalanced. Okay. Now, gluten, for example, if you have allergy. So allergies means your body has toxins. So you need a detox. Okay. So that is a digestive, pitta. So similarly, we can identify diseases. So for example, cancer. Cancer means all three are imbalanced. Kapha, pitta, vata. All three become imbalanced. So you need to detox a lot first. Okay. So kapha in general, those who have kapha dominating. So we are something dominating, and we have something which is not dominating. Okay. So we are seeing slide to show screen, not the slide. Okay. Okay, one moment. Okay, one moment. Now, okay. Now do you see? Is it okay? So kapha, those who have kapha dominant, so they are stocky, round, broad. So you can categorize yourself. So generally, those who have a good physical structure, they are meant to be nice, because they are fulfilled, right? Those who are medium, they are active. Those who are very lean, like me, they are overactive. So that is because in kapha, your structure is like heavy. So you are slow, calm, in general. But your mental nature can be exactly opposite, and you could have an opposite effect. But in general, if your physical and mental nature are balanced, then kapha can be a very balanced nature. Slow appetite, slow moving. So this is in general ideal character, but we are a mix. So we have something dominating and something secondary. So pitta. So pitta means like warriors, medium body, and very high hunger, anger, goal oriented, sharp, and intellect, hot tempered. Vata means like my body, very lean, very lanky, dry, slim, very anxious, nervous, airy, quick. So they are very quick. They want very quick results. Kapha is like long term. So that could be your physical, mental nature also. If you mentally develop a kapha nature, gradually your body will also reflect that way or feel that way. Okay. So those who have erratic hunger, okay, they become, that is called Vishamagni. So Vata has Vishamagni, erratic hunger. In Pitta, your hunger is very intense, but not very erratic, kind of that. In Kapha, your hunger is not so bad. Like food will be available in 30 minutes. For me, if I decide that 2 o'clock right now I want food, I want food. So if it's like 10 minutes late, I'm like very upset. And Kapha is like, no, you don't get so upset. Pitta is like, you can be little upset. Vata means you are very upset. So very intense. So very intense. Okay. So okay. Gluten sensitivity. Okay, developed later in life. Okay. So so based on that, you have kapha, pitta, vata. So your body type can be vata, pitta, pitta, vata, kapha, vata, vata, kapha, pitta, kapha, kapha, pitta. Dominant. Okay. This will take some time. I have already explained this part. Okay. So this is some of the basics that you need to understand about the Ayurveda. And if you understand this much, then we can work on talking about gluten allergy. Since the question is there, now I'm open to questions. So then we will download the app, and who are not downloaded yet. Okay. First, I'll take the questions. So now, first thing is gluten allergy. So there is a book which is very famous today. It's called Wheat Belly. Okay. If you just do a quick Amazon search, you will see the book called Wheat Belly. Okay. So this book, this lists, you can see the amount of what this has earned. So this book explains how. So in the 70s and 80s, 60s and 70s, people needed some guaranteed food. Population was growing. There was not so much war as in World War I and II. So you needed some food that is guaranteed. As they say, put food on the table. Let them give something to eat, staple, right? Your main. So it should be some grain. So they decided on wheat. So first thing that happened to wheat was it was genetically modified. Second thing that happened was, I came to know this because in Las Vegas, there was a case of one lady who took peanuts and she got an anaphylactic shock. She got $1.5 million as a restitution, or, what do you call that? Payout for, because the paramedic came late and he did not have the injection. It's like a $20 injection. I was thinking, in India, I ate so much peanuts. I never saw somebody go into a shock of allergy reaction after eating peanuts. So then after doing research, I found peanuts is grown in the same field where wheat is grown. So you can imagine the amount of pesticide that is sprayed on the wheat. So this wheat belly, this author made millions, or at least many celebrities, hundreds and thousands of people quit wheat. He's a doctor, and he found that most of their allergies were reversed. Most of their allergies got reversed. Okay. So this wheat was ideally 8 feet tall, stalk. Today it is 3 feet. So you can imagine the amount of evolution. So that is why the US wheat, there were more than 100 varieties. So today it is only 5 which are high in gluten. Okay. And it is not the gluten that causes the problem. It is because eating it for years and years, that pesticide is sitting in your intestines. It has become a part of your intestine. If you detox that pesticide fully, that is why we can do the ghee detox. So with the ghee detox, you can overcome any allergy. And I saw that with my daughter also. She was able to overcome the allergy, indigestion with the ghee when you do the ghee detox. And that wheat, this wheat allergy is some of the most dangerous that you can develop. Okay. Now this gets into your system. Now Europe, this is not so common because they still have the traditional varieties of wheat. In India, it is becoming very prominent in terms of diabetes and obesity. Okay. In India also, obesity cases are very high. Obesity means your belly bloats up bigger than your body. Okay. Everything else becomes small. Your thighs are big, belly is big, thighs and like the lower areas are bigger. So if moment your stomach grows bigger than your waist size, that means you are in danger. Okay. The second problem with gluten allergy is dryness. So because it your digestion becomes dry, weak, so you need to strengthen. So what is the replacement for wheat? So you can use plenty of millet. So first thing I would recommend as a treatment for this allergy is to do the ghee detox. So we have a ghee called Panchakola ghee, and that's what we did for my daughter. And after 1 week of taking that ghee, like you take that ghee and you just have ganji, like water. And that lot of digestive issues and all the chemicals that are sitting in your whole body and the intestine, they get absorbed. And slowly they are drained out of your intestines. Okay. So they are drained out of your intestines. Once that is done, then you eat light food for about a month and your allergy can go away. Max to max, some of them have to do it 2 times. And we have seen that your allergies can be fully reversed. So that is why ghee is the most important food in if you really want to reverse diabetes. Okay. Also, sure. And you can also WhatsApp me so that I can explain to you the process better. I'm just putting my WhatsApp number here. Okay. You can text or WhatsApp. So in Ayurveda, the first step in healing is to detox. So you have a digestive problem. Fasting will remove the waste part, but what about the toxin which is already developed? So the toxin which is already there, you need to remove it, detox it. So that's where the ghee is considered the most important. Second, you need to improve your digestion. So Ayurveda, all diseases, these three main steps. First is detox, second is improving the digestion, and third is restoration. Okay, so that is why if you have excess fat, toxins, they need to be removed first. Without doing that, no matter what patchwork you do, your digestion is not really there. So ultimately, digestion and excretion, digestion and excretion. So when you eat something, if it digests fully, goes out of your system, you're fine. If it doesn't digest fully, still it goes out of your system, you're fine. But if it accumulates, if it remains, so if you have an allergy, means some toxin is there. Okay, so the toxin needs to be removed. So that is where ghee comes in. And there is you can do water detox also. People do enema, water. It's beneficial, but there is nothing as good as ghee, because ghee not only detoxes you but removes it and restores your system. So that is very important. All right. Okay. I hope I answered that question. And all right, I'm open to any other quick questions, and then if not, we'll just go to the app.
Can you send me the app info again, please? I will join a little late.
Yeah. Now that's what I'm going to do. If there are no more questions, everybody's good. Okay. All right. So those who have already downloaded last week. So I hope you started watching the videos.
What is your name, Prabhu? Is it on iOS?
It's on iOS. Food for the Soul LLC. So if you do food space for space the space LLC, then you will be able to
Food for the soul.
Food for the Soul, not food for the space. I'm sorry. It's Food for the Soul LLC. And you will see this icon. You can download it. And once you download, you can click on profile at the bottom. All right, here you
I'm
go.
not able to find it, Prabhu.
Yeah, replacement for wheat is millets. Basically, you can have millets, because millets, thank God, are not yet GMO. You can't find. Are you an iPhone, Mia? Is it an iPhone or a Android?
Yeah, it's an iPhone, and I'm not able to find
iPhone.
the
Then I'll
app.
send you the link. 1 second.
Yeah.
So instead of wheat, you should eat light grains. Okay, so you should eat light grains. So what are light grains? Can somebody give me an example? What are the light grains?
Buckwheat.
Actually, rice is very light.
Buckwheat.
Buckwheat. Okay, buckwheat is good. Anything else?
Quinoa. Well, quinoa maybe not a grain.
Quinoa. The only thing about quinoa is you need to cook it really soft. You need a lot of extra water. I was eating quinoa for like 2-3 months. Then I was becoming very leaner. Then I realized that quinoa is very drying. So you need to have quinoa with plenty of water. Okay. So just like you just cook quinoa, like if it's dry cooked, it's not that what do you call it? Very good. So you have to cook it wet. In Ayurveda, of course, everything should be cooked wet, and nothing should be taken dry. So
what about the wild rice?
Wild rice is good. See, anything which has the least chemicals is very good. Okay. If chemicals are high, that is the problem with wheat. Wheat is not the problem. Gluten is not the problem. But the amount of toxins in there are the problem. Like, for example, if we are very angry all the time, so we are not the problem. Our anger is the problem. So we need to throw out the anger, not ourselves. Right? We need to throw out the anger, not throw ourselves with the anger. So how do you throw out the anger? Right? So that is something we need to learn. Yeah? So now barley is considered one of the best. Okay, barley has a little bit of gluten in that sense, those who have gluten allergy, but in Ayurveda, as a replacement for wheat, in terms of grain, for healing, barley is considered the best. Okay, so after you download, then you have to, you can open the app and then go to profile and sign the waiver and create a profile, and you will get an email where you can activate it. So after you activate it, then you can sign. So anybody has a problem with activating and signing in, let me know. There's one more thing. A few days ago, I came across a one client of mine. So what happened is they gave him steroids, nasal steroid. So after they gave him nasal steroid, one of his eyes got bloated up. What do you call it? It became filled with water, liquid. So what happened with that is his eyes were like blurry and filled with water. So I gave him our plain ghee and asked him to apply it every night. I apply every night when I sleep. Actually, this eye, my son by mistake punched. We were playing something and I was like, I smiled and gave my face and he punched right here. And this eye actually became dry, like there was a blood clot right on the eyeball. And my eyes became like my right eye, I couldn't see at all. Now I can see almost 80%. So there is still that blood clot. So it started drying out, it became fully opaque. I was like, what to do? So then I started applying our ghee because I did some research and I put the ghee. Within 1 week, because every night when I sleep, I put the ghee, it started watering gradually, that blood clot started dissolving. It improved my digestion also. So just applying the plain ghee, then I applied for a few days, I started Brahmi ghee also. The Brahmi ghee, even better, I would water and eyes would become moist, very good, because eyes should be moist, not dry. When you use the screen for a long time, your eyes become So when I have to do my PhD study, write books, I have to sit for a long time. So I just apply ghee, wait for 15 minutes, and then I use. And actually, it reduces the stress a lot. And the plain ghee kind of, within a month, his eyes got completely cured of that water liquid. So ghee is like, it really helps you in every way possible. Now he came up with another problem after a month, because somebody told him you need to eat a lot of greens, okay, for Ayurveda. So he started taking raw spinach, raw kale, raw this, raw that, raw. And after 1 month, he started getting severe headaches. He started getting severe headaches. Can anybody tell me why? What was the mistake he was doing?
It should have
With
blanched
raw?
them. Raw is oxalates, a lot of oxalates, right? So it should have blanched them.
Should have gradually.
Blanched, like just like little bit steamed it or something, and it, because
steam.
raw ones has a lot of oxalates.
Oxalates.
Lectins.
Okay.
The lectins, right?
Okay. One of
You
the
have to cook.
problems. Okay. Go ahead.
Last time you mentioned that salads are very dry. So I'm just
Yeah.
wondering if it's increased vata and vata somehow related to headaches.
Yes, exactly. So the chemical part is there, like said, oxalates and lectin. But you can imagine when I put hot rice into my body, the hot rice flows. So you can imagine it going into your esophagus, it is going into your belly, it's digesting, right? Now suppose I put a dry kale, raw kale. Now it is very coarse, right? If I rub it on my skin, it's very dry. So it goes in, it kind of rubs. So it has a very corrosive effect. And what it does is it increases gas. So your lining of your intestines, everything gets aggravated. So everything gets aggravated. So when everything gets aggravated, so vata gets aggravated. So that's why this causes headache. Especially because the stomach lining gets corrosive. So there's a lot of gas that is released. Okay. So this is the problem that we can see. All right. So everybody is able to download now? Those who have not downloaded it, can you raise your hands or chat so that I can... App is stuck. I am seeing Mataji's image that nothing is popping up. Okay, just restart the phone maybe. So it should, or it may take a little time to load. So Leelamrita Mataji, also let me know if you're able to see it, download and see it. Then go to profile, create a profile. Yeah, okay, bro. Trying to restart mobile. Okay. One more very important tip. So how many of us drink coffee here? Anybody drinks? Nobody? No wonder Starbucks is down.
I quit coffee. I was drinking coffee on and off. I finally quit a while ago.
Okay. So do you have any substitute?
Well, I drink a lot of different herbal teas and Ayurvedic teas, but the substitute for that, I sometimes have, there's like a carob blend.
We have ashwagandha latte. Anyway, when I'm shipping you the ghee, I'll send you one, which tastes exactly like coffee. It has 8 herbs and it has chicory. It tastes exactly, and it's very healthy. I take it every night. Yeah, and it has improved my sleep.
Babuji, I have that one, but how do you prepare? Like, as I've tried it, preparing it in like an actual coffee steamer, and it gets overdone, gets like all hard. You just boil it and filter it, or?
Yeah. So what we do is you just add it to the milk directly. So I make a half milk, half water.
Okay.
I just heat it and just add the powder. That's it. Boil it along with that. You don't have to go through the coffee, this thing. You directly add it to the...
You can end up drinking the powder itself when you take it.
You can filter it. You can filter it if you want. The powder is good. It's all herbs only. Yeah. So that's how we do it. I also add the ashwagandha ghee because I take it at night. And yeah, it's really good. So yeah, so if you are able to download it and you're able to sign in, is Leelamrita Mataji you're able to sign in? Let me know.
Not yet. No, I get just a picture of Sundari also.
Oh, okay, so you should let her populate, let it load up, It
Okay.
takes, or maybe restart the phone. It should come up. It's just
Okay.
maybe the first time it takes a little bit of time to load up. All right. So what I want to do is last week some of us joined, so I was able to give access to the course. And what I want to do is give you all access to the course which I want. And I will connect with you all individually. Where is everyone here? Send the chat to Lilamrita. One second. What happened to everyone? Okay. Okay. One second. When it shows email already, can you text the? So which email you're already using? So what we can do is we can, if there are any more questions quickly, then we can continue here, or I will just stop the live broadcast.
Prabhu, I have to go for another event. I'll catch up with you later. But look forward to getting the app.
Yeah. I just have to reset maybe for a couple of you. That is the only problem with this app is